Baliwasan Central School, 4-story, 24 classroom building, 31 million. Talisayan National High School, 2-story, 6 classroom building, 12 million. Pasunanca Elementary School, 2-story, 10 classroom, 20 million. Recodo National High School, 3-story, 6 classroom, 14. San Roque National High School, 3-story, 12, 17 million. Ayala Laboratory Building, 9.25 million, for a total of 101 classrooms, laboratory worth 174.8 million. So this, you've seen the pictures of what we have turned over. We have numerous and massive ongoing projects of 26 school buildings with 324 classrooms at a staggering amount of 683.66 million. That is the list of the ongoing project from Ayala to Ramon Enriquez, Sinulog, John Felix, Santa Barbara, Riondo, Labuan, Santa Maria, Patalon, Santa Maria, Sinulog, Catalina Villalon, San Roque, Recodo, Sinulog High School, Regional Science High School, Southcom, 2 units of 4-story 12 worth 62 million, San Jose Cusuk, 4-story 12 classroom, San Roque High School, 39 million, Tulong Atong, 2-story 611, Kadalagan, Sinubong, Canelar, all totaling 324 classrooms in the staggering amount of 683 million pesos. Added to this, the following school buildings have been recently bidded out or about to start construction. You have Zamboanga City Central School, 45 million, Southern Support Command, 11 million, Labuan CS, 3-story 9, and Labuan CS, 2-story 6, all totaling 104 million. Ladies and gentlemen, if you add what has been turned over, what is ongoing, and what has been recently bidded out, turned over completed 36 buildings, 343 classrooms, 356 million, ongoing 26 school buildings, 324 classrooms, 683 million, recently bidded out 4 buildings, 41 classrooms, 104. All in all, you will have 66 school buildings, 708 classrooms, 3 billion pesos. Pupils and students, teachers and principals, district supervisors, directors, division school superintendent, this is what you call putting money where it is felt in the hearts na corazon del mga bata, mga jóvenes, mga very important persons. Educational assistance in 2018, 1,745 students availed of 16,600,000 for continuing and beneficiaries of the educational assistance for first and second semester under the Tulong Dulong. Majority of the student beneficiaries were from WIMSU, Zamboanga City State Polytechnic College, Zamboanga State College of Marine Science and Technology, and a private college and a private university. It was in school year 2018-2019 that Republic Act 1091 was implemented, giving free tuition and free miscellaneous fees and other fees in SGCs. Pero ya continua kita man-appropriate sen para natulong-dulong para pwede ayuda kung ang mga estudyante y mga jóvenes para nila transportation, board, and lodging. I end this section of education with a challenge. The embarrassing, dismal, and unacceptable results of the National Achievement Test shows the division of Zamboanga City has a score of only 35.09% for elementary and 39.71% for high school. This is the worst ever in the history of DepEd School Division of Zamboanga City. We really have to address the deteriorating quality of education. Infrastructure. Before dealing with the facts and figures in infrastructure, I would like to report on some of the turnover and inauguration of projects. Flood control projects, we had in Tumaga, you have Tumaga, you have Santa Maria, you have Labuan Phase 1, Labuan Phase 2. You also have concreting projects, concreting of roads in Malagutay, concreting of road inside the camp, Arturo and Enrile. You have also the monitoring of different projects. You have the concreting also of a road in Santa Maria, concreting of the road leading to the National High School. Then you have the one-story multipurpose building at Camp Enrile. And we constantly monitor the projects. One of the projects we keep on monitoring is the Zamboanga City Bypass Road, the widening of the Artilim Boulevard, Paliwasan Seaside, widening of the Labuan-Lipapa Road, Paliwasan Chico, San Jose Gusub section. Last year, I reported from having zero project. Can you imagine? The regional office of DPWH had zero projects in 2010 and again zero in 2011. The project implemented by the DPWH regional office have showed substantial increases from 352 million in 2014 to 714 million in 2005, increasing further to 808 million in 2016 and increasing to 861 million in 2017. But ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, boys and girls, the projects to be implemented by DPWH in 2018 was a staggering 2.1 billion pesos. Alegre ba ustedes? Unfortunately, we are still in a reenacted budget as the 2019 budget has not yet passed. Because of the indicative 2019 555 billion budget of the DPWH, which is lower than the 2018 budget of 650 in 2018, the budget for all legislative districts will be drastically cut in 2019. The indicative figures for the implemented budget for DPWH will only be about 1 billion pesos, higher than 2017, but lower than 2018. Here you can see the appropriations of the DPWH, Zamboanga City Labuan-Lipapa Road, Zamboanga Bypass Road, Road Junction Ayala La Paz to the tourism site, Artilim Baliwasan Campo Islam section, Tumaga River Basin flood control, construction of maintenance of bridges, then you have widening of Pagadian Road, construction of flyover cabins. You have, I will discuss this in detail, 300 million in 2017 and 2018, an indicative figure of 270 in 2019, construction of the other flyover 290 and 250, flood control and construction. So all in all, these are the figures of the DPWH. These amounts, by the way, do not include the appropriation of the national government for the C3R project intended for the damage caused by the 2013 Zamboanga siege. Speaking of the C3R projects, one such project is scheduled to be turned over next month. Is the long-awaited repair and rehabilitation of the Joaquin Enriquez Memorial Grandstand, which was damaged as a result of it being used as a evacuation center. This project, make it clear, is a national project. This is funded by the national government, but the city government planned to implement this 335 million project and chop it up into 10 contracts for 10 contractors. Quoting the article written by Bong Garcia on July 26, 2015, Apolinario, Dr. Elmer Apolinario, City Disaster Risk Reduction Management Officer, said the rehabilitation upgrade works will cost 335 million, the funding of which will come from 3.5 billion. President Benigno Aquino III has allocated to Zamboanga City Roadmap to Recovery and Reconstruction CDR. He said the rehabilitation and upgrading of the different facilities of the complex will be simultaneously undertaken by 10 contractors. For the record, former DPWH Secretary Rogelio Singson did not approve of the city's plan to implement the project and chop it up into 10 contracts. Instead, the bidding was done by the DPWH and there is only one single contractor. Thank you, DPWH, for the implementation of the rehabilitation of Joaquin Enriquez Sports Complex. Although not yet fully completed, the widening of RT Lim, Baliwasan Seaside Section, and the Labuan Limpapa, Baliwasan Chico, San Jose Busuk section has definitely eased the traffic section, especially in the entry and exit from the west coast of the city. From 2 lanes, most of it is now 4 lanes. To divert the traffic situation in the city, there is the continued funding for the bypass road construction, which started from 150 million in 2014 to 320 million in 2015, to the funding of 300 million 2016, 350 million 2017, 442 million in 2018, and for 2019 there is an indicative figure of 300 million. Flyover and widening projects. The construction of 2 megastructures, the 300 million Camins Maria Clara Veterans Avenue Flyover Phase 1 and the 290 million flyover in the Zamboanga City Labuan Limpapa Road Junction, Suterville, San Roque Road Phase 1 were supposed to start on October 3, 2018. As of today, January 31, the project has not yet started and is already delayed for 120 days. Why? Because the city mayor has not issued the necessary order to close the 2 inner lanes of the road so excavation and erection of the post of the flyover can start. Accordingly, the closure of the 2 inner lanes will cause heavy traffic, and the position of the city is that the road has to be widened first before the construction of the flyovers. Records will show that earlier and up to now, the cost of the delay of the widening project is the city government. Quoting the 2019 SOCA, Mayor said, the flyover will not be feasible if the number of lanes in the affected road is limited, but the traffic scheme showed that even the closing of 2 inner lanes, although there was heavier traffic, but traffic was still manageable. And in my 2018 congressional report, I said, as early as now, I am asking for your patience and understanding because the traffic might even get worse while these flyovers are being constructed. I have detailed and I have outlined the timeline for the construction of the flyover. And there you can see that July 22, 2015, the traffic impact assessment study was reported on as early as July 2015. November 9, 2015, I requested in a letter to Secretary Singson for the inclusion of the project in the budget. March 2016, the RDC letter to DPWH Regional Director providing copy of RDC resolution endorsing the 2017 budget, which includes the flyover. Then you have August, Mayor Asangunian for adoption of CDC resolution, which includes the flyover. Then you have October 24, Mayor writes, DPWH Regional Director requesting consideration for flyover and even ask that this be funded. Then you have 16, the city hired architect Felino Palafox. Then in the study of Palafox, it was clear that Palafox himself said, build a flyover in the junction of Camins, Maria Clara, Veteran, build another one in Taupan Road. January 2019, Congressman Lobregat's congressional report, I already said the proposed flyovers are being proposed. March 13, 2017, RDC letter to Secretary DPW Singson, Villar already, endorsing the 2018 budget, which includes the two flyovers. January 26, 2018, Congressman Lobregat's report, I said the two flyovers are already funded. May 25, Mayor Asangunian for adoption of citizen resolution, which include the construction of the flyovers, phase 2. Then you have October 3, notice to proceed given to the contractor until the end of Fiesta. November 16, Regional Director writes Mayor for temporary closure to be late. November 22, DPWH writes Mayor asking for executive order. December 3 to 16, dry run. January 31, 46 days after the dry run, no action. Timeline of the Governor Camins. And this is more telling because the position of the city is widen una antes el flyover. Now let us look at the widening. August 16, 2016, Mayor endorses to the City Council CDC resolution, which includes the widening project. November 22, 2010, DPWH officially communicates with Mayor Climaco informing that the world widening project is included in the 2017 JA and asks permission to access the premises. April 27, 2017, DPWH writes Mayor informing of the road widening project in preparation of the flyover, request for the removal of city's government structures. June 14, DPWH writes the Mayor that the project has been awarded, but despite notice to proceed, the contractor is constrained to undergo full implementation because of the presence of water pipes and water meter. October 19, DPWH writes the Mayor offering assessment, structures and improvement owned by the city. March 9, DPWH writes the Mayor respectfully reiterating their October 19 letter. March 19, City Engineer answer stating that the counter offer is still being evaluated and being forced to several offices. June 11, DPWH writes the Mayor stating that the notice to proceed was on August 14, 2017, but the contractor cannot start working as there is no decision from concerned offices as to who will construct and construct. June 20, 2018, Mayor wrote DPWH accepting the offer, but the city construct the affected structures on cities following the city's design plans specification. October 8, DPWH writes the Mayor follow-up status of the document needed for the road removal improvement. October 25, DPWH writes the Mayor regarding the lease contract. November 22, DPWH writes the Mayor reiterating the letter. So you have all these timelines. As of December 31, 2018, the fence at Santa Cruz Public Market, the cold storage at Pagsakan and the machine room are still intact and obstructing the implementation of Governor Camins' widening project. All of these structures and the land where the structures are located belong to the city government of Zamboanga. Break, they will watch a video around.
trabajo. 9 años fui cinta como alcalde. Yung 5 años pa lang, tapichia di mi boca, tapichia di mi mano, tapichia con el consejo, pirmi lang kita kada obstructionist. Papibinig ang progreso del di atong syudad. Pero pabor kami, nung masangga, todo asa mga konsehal, itodo lang tasangga asa pushcart i-truck. Nung mas keda obstructionist na progreso, nung madikta ka nanon, kay todo estos, mandato de Dios y vivientes, debe respetar.
Anyway, I showed you the video because who is obstructing the progress and development of Zamboanga City? There is really a big disconnect between what the mayor said in her 2019 SOCA and the delay of the flyover project. Quoting again the 2019 SOCA of the mayor, she said, "But it is not enough to come together only in times of crisis. We need to learn and be mature to set aside our differences and political colors to seek out a common ground and to be able to deliver for the people who elected us to serve them. Will we always allow ourselves to be blindfolded, be divided into factions, and fight against each other? Or will we have a sense of common purpose and one direction that will help move Zamboanga City forward?" Yang omenta pala, "Takreo que el de aton fe y el amor, na de aton familia amo el centro na vida de un zamboangueño. Por eso trabaja kita más para darle progreso y prosperidad con la ciudad de Zamboanga. Ciudad antes de interés personal. Ciudad antes de todo." Whose interests are being served with the delay of the implementation of the flyover projects? ¿De quién interés? Flood control for urban poor and central district. National government, the DPWH, is not only solving our traffic problems of our city, but also our flooding problem. The 2018 GAA provides for 2 projects worth 360 million flood control for urban core and central district, including road right-of-way and pumping stations. Every time there's heavy rain, one of the lowest portions of the city gets flooded. Water rushes and accumulates in the area of southern city colleges, and the severity of the flooding there depends on the tide. Ojalá el city government ay hindi atamensangga con este proyecto. Kalya. Road convergence. The road convergence program within the Department of Tourism, DPWH, has received multi-year funding starting from 2014 to 2018, amounting to 700 million pesos. Additional indicative funding for 2019 is 60 million. Completion is expected to be in 2020. This project involves the concreting of a 25.7-kilometer road at the junction of the National Highway to Nancy Falls. This is a city barangay road that has been classified as a road leading to a tourism site. The ecozone is also part of President Duterte's Build. The 2018 GAA contains 2 packages in the ecozone worth 250 million under the DTI DPWH conversion. There is an additional 30 million in 2019. District Engineer's Office implements projects below 100 million. There have been substantial increases in the appropriations implemented by the DO from 2007 million in 2014, 328 million, 2015, 418 million, 2016 to 17. There was a huge 78% increase to 746 million. For 2018, the budget maintained at 738. So if you have the figures there, these are the amounts that are appropriated to the District Engineer's Office. Among the 217 projects that the DOE is tasked to implement is the 49 million road improvement widening of Governor Cummings. This project has been discussed earlier. Among the 2018 projects, the District Engineer's Office is tasked to implement is the 75 million widening from Camins Junction of Nunez to Santa Maria Road, which will ease traffic in front of KCC. Another project the district engineers is tasked to implement is the widening of the airport road, which will now be widened up to Baliwasan, Chico, and the junction will be channelized. And just recently, we were able to get a 43.6 million rehabilitation, construction, upgrading of the damaged road, including drainage at Baliwasan Grande. And this is just has come recently. It is about to be bidden. Outside projects are projects like the school building projects of the DepEd and the farm to market road of the agriculture, which are implemented by DPWH. These are downloaded during the year. The level of comparisons of outright project increased from a low of 34 million in 2013, 193 million 2014, increased to 242 million 2015, 307 million 2016, and increased to 516 or more than half a billion in 2017. Grabe, nunca na istorya en Ciudad de Zamboanga ya tiene Antina de Grande project para el outside DepEd pati el farm to market road. Detailing all of these outside projects, these are the years, the number of projects, and the amount of outside projects for DepEd and Department of Agriculture. For 2018, the projects outside DepEd downloaded 8 school buildings, 74 classrooms, an amount of 197. And for 2018, there were 8 projects for farm to market with 52 million pesos. Summary. Ending my second term, the appropriations for the national project implemented and being implemented by DPWH for District 1 for a 5-year period, 2014 to 2018, is 8.7 billion pesos. This is the biggest budget in the history of Zamboanga City. I have not included, again, the CTR projects and the 2019 budget because we are still in a reenacted budget. As I mentioned earlier, there were no projects for the region. You will see those 2 years, zero, blanco, and then after that, start 2014, ya queda más grande y más grande. Also spent for infrastructure by DPWH, PPA, Zamboanga City's Medical Center, Hospital Project continue to serve as a catalyst to the progress and development of the city and have provided employment to thousands of Zamboangueños. Added to this, 1,935 beneficiaries were provided temporary employment through the Department of Labor TUBAN. 9,670,000 was spent for the TUBAN program in District 1. Added to this, we have 20 beneficiaries of the government internship program worth 586,000 and 5 livelihood projects worth 2.5 million. National government, Zamboanga's economic driver. With the billions of pesos in infrastructure that the national government is investing and implementing in Zamboanga, it can be said that the national government is Zamboanga City's economic driver. In the last 5 years, from 2014 to 2018, the budget for DPWH infrastructure for District 1 alone amounted to 8.8 billion. If we consider the DPWH budget for District 2, the capital outlay spending of other national municipalities like PPA and DOH, it can be really concluded that it is the national government sparing the progress and development of the city. In my valedictory address in June 30, 2013, I said, sound fiscal management is one of the legacies we proudly hand over to Mayor Beng Limaco's administration. Prudent and judicious allocation of the city's financial resources and spending the funds more wisely and sensibly has made Zamboanga City one of the most stable local governments in the country. In line with that, let us analyze the 2019 budget and the budget for garbage trucks and dump trucks. The city's 4.196 billion budget for 2019 is 23% higher than the 3.4 billion budget in 2018. 11% of said budget, or 464 million, is financed by reversions. 500 projects worth 464 million pesos have been reverted from 96 barangays. And these reversions are not even enough to fund the intended 526 million purchase of 51 garbage trucks at 6 million pesos per garbage truck and 44 dump trucks at 5 million per dump truck. The city's garbage problem is not the transporting of garbage to the sanitary landfill, but the sanitary landfill itself is already full. The city's cell number 1 of the sanitary landfill has been full since March 2018, and the construction of cell 2 is long delayed, and there is no budget for cell 3. The road to the landfill is dilapidated, and yet there is no funding for the repair and rehabilitation. The present number of city's garbage compactor trucks, dump trucks for garbage, adding the dump trucks of the barangays, can handle the transporting of the garbage to the landfill. Records will show that in the 9 years of Celso Obregat's administration, the following were purchased: 27 garbage trucks, 2 hook lifts, and 1 open dump. And for the 5 years Mayor Climaco was in office, they purchased 4 dump trucks, meaning 34 were purchased for a period of 9, let's just say 4, 13 years. Okay? Now, mind you, at present, out of the 2016, 17, and 18 budget and supplemental budget, there are 14 units not yet delivered. So, if you add the 14 plus the 34, that means a total of 48 units were purchased or still to be purchased during the 14 years of the Obregat-Climaco administration. Yet, in one single purchase under the 2019 budget, a total of 95, almost double what happened in 14 years. 51 garbage trucks, compactor, and 44 dump trucks. If the purchase of garbage trucks are needed, judicious allocation of resources and spending wisely and sensibly maybe would necessitate only 5 to 6 trucks, not 95, considering that there are still 14 undelivered. The price of the undelivered contractors recently bidded out and those under process is only 5 million. And in the 2019 budget, the price is already 6 million. You multiply 1 million times 51 units, that is 51 million pesos. The price for dump trucks for the barangays is 5 million per unit. Several barangays have purchased 4 cubic meter capacity dump trucks at approximately 1.2 million pesos. The 4 cubic meter dump truck is the convenient and useful capacity and size because of the narrow size of the roads. You cannot put a big truck in the narrow roads of the barangay. Despite several years of wear and tear, the condition of these dump trucks bought by the barangays indicate that the quality, effectiveness, and durability of said barangays dump trucks have been tried and tested. For said price, 3 trucks can be purchased instead of 1. 44 dump truck can be purchased at 1.5 million per truck, is a total of only 66 million pesos. 44 dump trucks purchased at the price of 5 million amounts to 220 million. And that is why we have always said, spend the money wisely, sensibly, and judiciously. We have the pictures. These are pictures of the dump trucks. Bolong, bought it at 1,200,000. Bolong, running, good condition. Talon, purchase, 1.3, recent, the most recent. But there are, I think, 8 or 9 barangays that have purchased this dump truck, and they are all in working condition. And so, that is why I said, let us analyze the purchase of the garbage truck. Now, what is more telling is the 166 million Talisayan relocation site, 12.3 hectares of land. There are 3 basic issues concerning the Talisayan lot purchase. Number 1, the process and procedure is flawed and highly questionable. Number 2, the site is unsuitable. Number 3, the price is outrageously overpriced. The purchase supposedly emanated from an October 15, 2018 letter of Marisa Aison, President of Zamboanga City Homeowners and People's Organization, addressed to Mayor Beng Timaco, passing on the clamors of the Federated UPA NGOs, POs affiliated with the CHOP, on the need of acquiring lands commensurate to the housing backlog of the city government, which comprise of informal settlers occupying danger zones such as shoreline, river setback, and those that are in landslide-prone areas. Let us look at the timeline. Be very conscious of the timeline. November 14, 2018, the appraisal committee states the price of land per square meter for 2 lots with a total of 12.3 hectares or 123,267 square meters for the amount of 126,267 pesos. The very next day, the negotiating panel of the city met with the representatives of the owner and negotiated the sale of the 12-hectare property at 1,300 pesos per square meter for a total amount of 166,410,450. Also, the expected capital gain tax, documented tax, transaction tax, survey cost, regulatory fee will be shouldered by the city government. Negotiating panel is composed of Mayor Beng Primaco, Councilor Romel Agan, and City Administrator Apollo. December 18, the Mayor writes to City Council transmitting the first endorsement dated December 17 of the City Legal Officer relative to the Mayor's authority to enter and sign for the city. December 19, the very next day, the City Council hastily approves the Mayor's request for authority to enter and sign the deed of absolute sale. December 21, the city government transmits the resolution, the council resolution. December 21, 2 days after the council approved the feasibility study of Talisayan site is transmitted. So you have the feasibility study is transmitted after 2 days after the approval. So why do I say that the process is flawed? Number 1, the City Council approved the Mayor's authority to enter and sign the deed of absolute sale without the pertinent documents. It is on record that in the resolution itself, it said the following documents were not present: transfer tax, title of both lots, tax declaration, letter of August 24 of Mexico ng Pomoceno, resolution of the City Appraisal Committee dated 14, 2018, resolution of negotiators dated November 15, special power of attorney without feasibility study was approved. The feasibility study, even though submitted 2 days after approval, It's grossly inadequate and incomplete. Why? There is no data on the cost of the land. There is no data on the development cost. There is no cost analysis of other available sites. No mention of environment and man-made hazards. The LGU's guide for local housing project and program were not followed. Steps to be followed in the selection of site, not followed. There's supposed to be an inventory and profile of available lots. There was only one available lot. Location, quality of site, accessibility to infrastructure, employment, land ownership, utilities, and cost. There was no cost mentioned for settlement location, criteria of the affected people, and comparative analysis, none. And safe from both environmental hazards, which I will discuss in the next. The site is not suitable. The geohazard maps coming from the different government agencies indicated that the selected Talisayan relocation site is not safe from environmental hazards. The letter of Marisa Aison was kailangan transfer dahil nasa danger zone sila. And now, if you look at the different maps, they are all indicating that this site is, number one, tsunami prone. This is the map of the field box. Okay? Then, the map from the DOST NOAA area is susceptible to storm surge. Then, the map, DNR map area is highly susceptible to flooding. The area is really low-lying, and pictures of flooding that occurred during downfalls are here. I will show you. Since the site is low-lying, massive and extensive filling will be needed. Okay, one picture, right? Mayor's proposal in the 2019 SOCA not to pass on the development. In the mayor's SOCA, it was mentioned that she is proposing that the city government will no longer pass on the development costs to the beneficiaries. It's a virtual admission that huge development costs will be incurred. And this is also very, very unfair to other relocation sites wherein the beneficiaries have been continuously paying for years for the development costs. There also exists a man-made hazard at the area. It is right beside the ongoing construction of the city jail. Ya cambia kita el city jail para no hay mga cacería cerca del city jail. Ahora, pone kita el city jail afuera, pone pa kita el housing allá. The price is grossly, outrageously overpriced. And I will show you why. The negotiating panel approved the price of 1,350 per square meter. However, the price per square meter of the 2017 zonal valuation Talisayan lots, residential lot is only 450. Interior lot is 250. Price offered for two barangay Dani Hatsi. Last year, the barangay chairman of Talisayan admitted that there was a buyer for property, so he approached the owners, and the owners told him to sell the lot at 650 to 700 pesos negotiable. Okay? Now, through the efforts of Councilor Liquid Macron, because he said that the price of the lot was only 700, and in council session, he said, somebody told him, do not pick figures from the air. And so, Councilor Liquid Macron went to the area, and the owner of the lot beside the property has a letter to the mayor offering his lot, which is just adjacent, at 800 pesos per square meter. There is another letter from Josefina Enriquez in Pamputan offering 500 pesos. So, the next one will give you a comparison using the different prices. Of course, the highest in the panel of negotiators is 166 million. If you follow the appraisal at 100, it is 123. So there is a saving of 43. Now, if you follow the letter of Mr. Rodolfo Macron, who sells the adjacent property at 800, then the difference will be 67 million. If you follow the letter offer of Danny Hasil that was given to Danny Hasil, the difference is 80 million. If you follow the letter offer from Mabutan, it is 104 million. So definitely it is grossly overpriced. I would like to thank Councilors Rudy Lim, Litit Macrohon, Mike Alabar, BG Gingona, Lilibet Nuno, Bodey Cabato, Jerry Perez, and Kari Piok for fighting for a prudent and judicious allocation of the city's financial resources and spending the people's money more wisely and sensibly. This is what I call hidden truths. COA report on LGUs. Equity. Equity is the gauge of the wealth of an LGU, which is the difference between the LGU's assets and its liabilities. Assets less liabilities equals equity. During the report, 2016 SOCA report, when I was still part of the program, I pointed out the reality that based on COA report on equity, Zamboanga City has been the 5th richest city in the Philippines and the richest in Mindanao, not only in 2014, but since many, many years during and before even my administration. Looking at the equity of Zamboanga City, the growth from 2014 to 2014 has been steady, strong, and rising. From 3.2 figures, 4.5, 6.6, 7.5 into 10, 2011, 8.3, 2012, 9.8, 2013, 9.65, and 2014, 10.64. So if you look at these figures, it was strong, steady, and rising. There, yeah. 2004, arriba. Okay, now. The financial reports are all public documents. Let us look at the public documents. This is the 2017 financial report, 2017. It shows you that the equity of Zamboanga is 9.9. Number 8 is Zamboanga City. This one went down because in 2016, Zamboanga City was number 7 with 7.38. The year before, Zamboanga City was number 6. So, and the year before, number 5. So from 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, the equity and rank of Zamboanga City has been going down. This was so much talked about in the SOCA of 2015, but after that, nothing was mentioned. This is a hidden truth. The 2017 annual report, I said, Zamboanga City is now number 8. So, the COA reports on local government show that while the growth of Zamboanga equity from 2004 to 2014 was steady, strong, and rising, the growth snapped in 2015 and 2016. So, it's very clear that Zamboanga's financial position is not getting any better. Now, this is more telling. COA report on LGUs. Another information that the COA report on LGUs shows is the ending cash balance of each local government. That means how much cash the city has at the end of the year. Okay? Would you believe that the ending cash balance of the city of Zamboanga for year 2017 is 5.2 billion pesos. Nothing is made up. That is in the COA report. A comparison of the cash position of the city government of Zamboanga from 2007 to 2017 clearly shows that the ending balance in 2017 is the biggest in the history of Zamboanga City. Definitely, ladies and gentlemen, there is a world of difference, a discrepancy, and disconnect between the COA figures and what was said in the 2019 SOCA. And I quote, este is in the SOCA. El sen del gobierno, hindi ta dormi na bangko, ay usa kita, honeste, y ase kita bira, na diaton mga vivientes, especialmente el quien necesita ayuda del gobierno local. And mysteriously, there is a deafening silence from 3 aspirants who are now running for 3 different positions under Team Climaco, when these 3 individuals were outrightly critical and loudly vocal during my administration as mayor when the cash balance was 2 billion pesos plus. Porque gaha. You know, again, in the job again, ending cash balances. I said, during my administration, the ending cash balances were somewhere 2 to 4 to 8, and they were always criticizing, porke tali sa sen na bangko, porke hindi tao sa, na auras 5 billion, kalyaw sila, porke gaha. Another hidden truth, business friendly daw, ease of doing business, business permit. In the 2 mayors 2019 SOCA, it has been stated that at its peak, there were over 13,000 businesses in Zamboanga City, and that Zamboanga City made it up to the top 13 business-friendly cities, local government units in the country by the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry 2018 Most Friendly LGU Award for highly urbanized cities. But do you know that the number of business permits issued in 2018 was only approximately 9,300, way below the business permits issued in 2017 of 12,500. And the number of pending unissued business permits for 2018 at the end of the year was approximately 3,000 business permits. Were these figures made available to the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry? Business-friendly, ease of doing business, presence of fixtures. The House inquiry into substandard housing units in C3R Tulungatong site went viral when the Rio Hondo Bridge collapsed, and the House Committee Chairman Albi Benitez, Zamboanga City Mayor, and myself, and other individuals fell into the murky waters. ¿Te acuerdan ustedes? We had the first committee hearing, May 16, 2018. In the first committee hearing conducted last May 16, the issue of the 6,500 deduction for light and water from the 10,000 DSWD assistance surfaced. Rio Hondo Barangay Chairman Rosty Bucaram was reminded by the City Legal Officer Jesus Carbon of Rio Hondo Barangay Resolution authorizing the collection. When asked about the deduction of 6,005, the mayor answered, "This is on the transcript. Your Honor, I don't have a copy, but nonetheless, with what was revealed by the IDPs, we will have to have it thoroughly investigated." That was May 16, 2019. In the second hearing, a letter from the City Social Welfare Officer dated September 23 addressed to City Engineer Vicente Despalo stating that please be informed that there will be 2 recognized facilitators of the contractor, namely so and so and so and so. Okay? Then you have the letter from the Executive Assistant to the Mayor writing City Engineer Indanan stating that 2 recognized facilitators. The excerpts of the minutes of the meeting of the local interagency committee on March 16, 2016, it resolved to pass a resolution recommending that the 10,000 cash assistance would not be given directly to the IDPs, but rather forms part of their bank accounts in arrears to Zamboanga City Water District and Zamselco, and to request for the restructuring of the payment to enable to apply for light and water. The resolution was approved by the city mayor as head of the LIA. Therefore, all other subsequent resolutions of Rosdy Mukaram and all the other barangays emanated from this council resolution. And yet, she said, we will have this thoroughly investigated. When asked if she authorized the Executive Assistant Jojo Abdusalam and CSW Officer Maria Socorroas, the mayor answered in the negative. She did not authorize. The inquiry has not yet been concluded and terminated, and I will not venture to speculate on the outcome. But what is crystal clear is that facilitators, or fixers in other words, have been recognized and allowed to transact their private transactions by certain government officials and in the premises of government offices. Isn't this a violation of the anti-red tape law? Isn't this a violation of the law on the ease of doing business? Speaking of bridges and falling bridges, I will ask, whatever happened to the Limaong Bridge? The Limaong Bridge connects Lagpan to Limaong, and the contract for the 120-meter bridge was 98 million pesos. When I ended my term on June 30, 2013, the bridge was already 91% accomplished. The approaches of 1,830 meters with a contract amount of 31.7 million was 89.6% accomplished. It has been 5 years and a half. It is being used, but the project has not been completed and turned over. Is it because the bridge was associated with the past administration? And speaking of a project that is very closely identified to the past administration,